I'm Jack Shepard.
And I'm Marcia Holloway. And we're doing a movie called Zoom.
No, we're not doing a movie. It's a documentary about real superheroes.
The project came together. It was a graphic novel that came to my attention. It was called Zoom's Academy.
Which I wasn't familiar with until I'd read a couple of drafts of the script.
The writers came up with a lot of really inventive ways to make kind of fun of all the popular superheroes.
The central idea of sort of old washed-out superhero training up these new kids.
As the character developed, I figured there was only one guy who could do it, and that's when we brought in Tim Allen.
Oh. Ow! It all works out well, but if a superhero, do not touch me, because I could go off like a Roman candle at any minute.
Mr. Shepard, I can't tell you how happy I am that you've come aboard. Ow!
They brought me the idea of an old guy who had latent talents, and he had his struggles with authority, much like me.
Guards, take him where the losers are plotting another failure. He knows the way.
Go to see your family, huh?
Get him out of here now!
Whenever you cast a movie like this, you want to kind of be true to the genre. The thing about this movie, although it does have great special effects and a lot of action, it's first and foremost a comedy.
Marcia, she was so funny on television.
He makes me call him Jack. I hate that.
I am Jack. I'm Jack Shepard.
Tim is a force to be reckoned with. Tim doesn't stop, ever. He's just absolutely nonstop. He walks on set, you know he's there no matter how big the set is.
There was only about 3 days or so when Tim wasn't on set, and it was so quiet. It felt like something was missing.
Ow! 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 Ow!
It's always a completely different energy when he's on the set. There's always something funny going around.
He always has people laughing.
We were fortunate enough to get some great comedians. Courteney Cox is wonderful. Her and Tim worked so great together, and we just laughed and laughed. That was great fun.
Courteney Cox? Was she in this? I am so selfish. I didn't even notice that there's other actors in this movie.
I liked the character of Marcia, but I wanted her to be a little bit more defined. So I said it would be great if she could be a real kind of nerd, and she's just kind of uncomfortable. And then I got another copy of the script, and I was like, you know what, that's going to be fun.
I get a big smile when I see her in the makeup trailer. Yes, I wear makeup. I look like a mime. If you could get close to this, there's so much... I'm such a woman right now.
Chevy Chase, too, was terrific, and that was actually producer Todd Garner's idea. And I think that was an inspired idea, because we were sort of thinking more serious actors, but Chevy turned out to be a great rediscovery.
Chevy Chase, he calls himself an icon. What is it? Icon and a moron. No, I called him a moron.
You know, I haven't been in this business for 8 to 10 years. I'd been away from the scene. God, you gotta use that word, the scene, in this movie somehow. That harkens back to the 60s or 70s.
I have been so fortunate in the last 3 movies worked with Dan Aykroyd, Jane Curtin, and now Chevy Chase.
I do have a reputation, however, of doing good physical comedy.
I've had to do some falls in front of him, which is interesting considering he is the master physical comedian.
You know, physical comedy can be everything from, you know, just a minor eye thing to the way you read a line.
I've got a thing. If you could get a double helix going, I'll be right back.
Everybody's heart is in this movie. I think all the actors, including the kids, there's something about Peter Hewitt that makes you want to do it right for him.
Tim has to audition 10 kids at the beginning. It can be difficult. It's hard being a superhero.
We actually kind of like did a real food fight. It was very fun.
Ryan was very excited about the food fight. I mean, I wasn't so excited about getting food thrown in my face.
Anything goes in this food fight. They just said, throw the food or whatever. And at one point, to take poor Michael, I threw a muffin at him. A muffin right at his head.
The food fight we shot, I hope we're not done with it, but I think we are.
Peter just told us it was going to be one take because we were going to be a total mess.
It was really cool how they shot it. They put 2 cameras on a dolly on a circular track and just had it going around us and around us. And so the crew's all running to try and stay behind the cameras, and we're just chucking food at each other. And it turned out to be so much fun. It was hysterical.
Tim Allen's character, Captain Zoom, when he was trained when he was younger, it was all on this strange military base. So the idea of creating that world for Tim to have fun in was very appealing.
We thought, What a fun idea to actually explore that there's a secret base behind Area 51, which is Area 52.
We thought Area 52 is actually a more secret area underneath Area 51. That's where the real secrets are.
There was this idea that this place existed in this mountain, and we had all these sort of discrete pieces, and I tried to link them together with all these corridors, and we tried to set up the corridors in a way so it would seem like there was multi-levels.
The sets are phenomenal from a design standpoint. It's so beautiful, and it takes us a lot of space to make this place.
This entire facility has been built to look at these kids. All the energy is focused towards this observation level that then looks over a training room where they're looking at these kids like ants in a jar.
I can't tell you enough about the designer of the sets. It's unbelievable, the vast sets, and also the detail with which they dealt with everything on this picture. Right? The set decoration details, all that stuff is amazing.
They're really cool. The sets, I think, are the coolest sets I've ever seen.
Wait a minute. No way. Is that you, Mr. Pibb?
We are the operators of Mr. Pibb. We were given a concept. It was revamped a number of times based on, obviously, the physics of creating a robot. Mr. Pibb is made of aluminum. He's got a lot of plastic components in him, and he's got lots of electronic gizmos attached to him. Mr. Pibb can do about a half dozen different things. He has a hand that opens and closes. He's got elbows that will move up and down, in and out. He is quite capable of actually walking around at the speed of a small child, a couple miles an hour, that sort of thing. By combining all the different features, his rolling wheels, his articulated shoulders, he's capable of doing 3 or 4 different methods of moving himself around. Some features for like his forward walking are completely different than, say, his backwards motion. So he puts a foot forward, his foot grips the ground, then he slides his other foot forward, that grips the ground. He operates off of a radio that is normally used for remote control models of various sorts, much like a radio controlled car would.
You've got to stop doing that.
Can my superhero costume be a tutu?
Are you even trying to listen to me?
Talk to the director, find out what he's thinking about. In the beginning, when we introduced all these kids, we gave them a little bit of background and where they come from and that sort of thing.
We get to wear our superhero costumes, which we've had many, many, many fittings for, and they're actually really cool.
I've kind of listened to the actors, listened to what Peter wants, and try to come as close as I can with the character. The first time we introduce them, they wear their street clothes. That's how we see who they are. And slowly they'll form into what they need to be. The clothes became much more together when the characters came to term that they want to be in the program. And slowly they will see them in the super suit, the white suit to them.
They've put a lot of work in making our super suit. It looks like a really cool little action figure, you know, and it's not the most comfortable thing.
And the superhero suit at the end is very protective. It's, I hate it.
It looks amazing on us, then it doesn't really matter.
Ha, the designer, said Peter always wanted to be an astronaut, so that's why you guys' suits are all white.
Jack didn't want to be the superhero. He's just very normal, next-door kind of guy. Kind of a reluctant hero. So eventually we kind of see him changing when he met all the kids. At one time, 30 years ago, he had Dr. Grant made a suit for him he never got a chance to wear. And now he make it better. So eventually we'll see him wearing this very tight superhero fitted suit.
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
We'll deal with that, but right now, most importantly, I want to deal with the fundamentals, and there's 2 fundamentals, control and execution. Think about it, control and execution. Come on, guys, follow me.
3, 4.
We got up here 2 weeks before we started filming, and it was at a karate dojo, but it was really with like really skilled taekwondo and gymnastic guys. We did a little bit of like punching and kicking and stuff like that, and then we moved on to a lot of just tumbling and learning how to do flips and looking like you know what you're doing kind of stuff, you know? And then in the afternoons for those first 2 weeks, we were up on the wires. We were wearing harnesses, and they were putting us up in the air and teaching us how to do all that.
I didn't realize that rehearsals meant that they really wanted us to come up and train and learn how to fly and learn how to do karate and things like that. I had no clue until the day before, and they were like, oh, well, you're gonna be learning how to fly tomorrow.
For the past rehearsals with the karate, they've been having me do it just regularly without the fat suit and, you know, getting better every week. And then they stick me in the fat suit one day for the karate rehearsal, and it was funny. If I went to do a roll, I'd get stuck on my head halfway through and my legs would be sticking up. And now I couldn't do a cartwheel without the fat suit on. It's just not how I'm built. And then they put the fat suit on me on top of it, and it just turned out really weird, just falling all over the place and everything. But the kicks and punches look pretty funny with the fat suit on.
And in the movie, we're supposed to get trained for karate and everything to do a scene where we get paintballs splattered all over us, and we get really hurt the first time. And then the second time, we get a little better, and at the end, we don't have any problems, and we did it exactly right.
We got a lot of great, interesting special effects in this, but you know, it's the kids that have to stand there and stare at their hand and pretend it's turning to jelly and make you believe that. So
the way we did our superpowers in this movie, I just stood there, and then they said, now get out of the way, and I got out of the way, and they do it in a computer somewhere in a far-off place.
The director feeds us with his concept of what's supposed to take place, but we need to create a bridge between that and actually what we start working on. The visual effects need to be pre-visualized in order to know how we're going to shoot them and then how we're going to start to execute them in 3D.
And some of the CG pre-vising that helps figure out exactly what do you want to see, because sometimes you don't know what Zoom looks like when he's running, for instance, or what Tucker looks like when he's expanding. We're able to help out early on in the phase, in the development side, and actually help the director and the producer save money and concept looks.
You know, they really help evolve it in such a way that it's not just an idea anymore. We editorialize it, put it in context with the other shots, with the shots that aren't even visual effects, and now it becomes something that we're looking at that has pace, timing.
We're helping the director, we're helping the DP, we help the lighting guys. It helps the whole thing move smoother because everyone knows exactly what needs to be shot on a particular day, which angles are going to cover what part of the set.
Right before we shoot, we'll show it to the cast, we'll show it to the actors. Basically, here was an initial concept of how this scene was going to take place. More than 75% of the effects in this show are probably going to be things that we have to devise from scratch.
Zoom can run extremely fast, and that's an interesting challenge for us because you want to also get a certain signature of Tim's performance in there as well, not just a blur across the screen. I think it's every kid's lifelong desire to run really fast like Zoom, to be able to fly, to go invisible. These are all sort of fantasy things that make it possible in a visual effects world to actually come true, at least on film. And I think that's part of the fantasy of all of these things. The Peter Pan myth, all these kind of great effects used to help people find that kid in himself again, too.
We've really worked hard to make sure that the themes of working as a team, finding yourself, believing in yourself, and ultimately having a family will come through.
It's great because being a mom, you've got a child that you think is special. If there's ways to make them feel good about themselves, I'm trying to get these kids to really love themselves and be proud and grow. I think it's really important.
I think at one point in your life, you have to feel like an outsider. But yeah, I mean, that's what's so cool about all the different characters. I mean, everybody kind of relates to someone.
This group is a very easy to fall in love with group because they all have capacities in different areas that remind me of my own childhood.
The theme of the underdog, making good, is a favorite one of mine, and by pulling them all together, they learn how to be a family and they learn how to use their powers and then to become heroes. And that's a great message for everybody, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I think it went well.
That's a wrap. That's good. All right, everybody.
It's time for another Zoom public service announcement.
Boy, oh boy, am I hungry. You can say that again.
After you, my faithful sidekick.
What?
I'm letting you talk first to the citizen like you wanted.
Who are you calling sidekick? The day with the guy with the shorter cape becomes sidekick is over. And consequently, I've been in the local 157 superhero union 6 months longer than you, which means I have seniority.
We'll see about that. I'm filing a grievance with the board after this action-packed episode. Girls, what seems to be the problem?
Some bullies took our lunch money. And we haven't had anything to eat all day.
Leave this problem up to your local superhero duo. We'll take care of it.
Are you gonna pound those bullies in the name of justice?
Great green gravy, no!
Why? Because fighting doesn't solve anything?
No, because we don't rumble with villains in any grade higher than second. Middle school hooligans can get a little rough.
So how are you guys gonna help us?
By staving off your hunger with replenishment from our own private super stash.
You don't mean...
That's exactly what I mean. To the snack shack. This ought to do the trick. Artificially sweetened chocolate-encrusted jelly grenades.
And you can wash it down with Professor Facialistic's molten lava soda, enriched with mystery ingredient number 9.
Hey kids, Princess here from the Zenith Force. Just say no to the temptation of a quick energy boost provided by sugary snacks and carbonated sodas. In the long run, they'll do your body more harm than good. Instead, choose fruits and vegetables to snack on, and nothing beats a glass of ice-cold milk. Remember, you may not have super strength, but eating right will help your body stay super strong.
This has been another Zoom public service announcement. It's time for another Zoom public service announcement.
$41, $42, $43, $91, $92. Phew, I'm really getting tired. You can say that again. At this rate, it'll take forever to become superheroes.
What seems to be the problem?
We've been working like crazy to become superheroes. And we don't feel very super, just tired.
You don't get a crime-fighting body like this overnight.
Kids, save all that energy for the supervillains. All those sit-ups and flapjacks will give you a headache. I'm gonna let you in on a little training tip.
You took a solemn oath. What if our enemies were to learn of our uncanny secret abilities?
It's okay. We can trust these heroes in training, can't we? That's what I thought. Now, like I was saying, time for training, girls.
Hop on the couch, sprawl out, and let your super training begin. The nice part is, if you fall asleep, a power nap builds up a healthy appetite.
Hey kids, Princess here from the Zenith Force. Sitting inside watching television all day is no way to become a superhero. If you want to get faster and stronger, the only way is through hard work and exercise. Kung Fu movies are fine for a Saturday night, but if you want to learn the martial arts, try taking a class in your local community center. Hi-ya!
Who's she talking to, chum?
I don't know. This chick must have some supervision, because I don't see anyone.
This has been another Zoom public service announcement. It's time for another Zoom public service announcement.
It's no use. I'm way too short to be any good at basketball.
Oh, I think I pulled a hammy.
And you made fun of my weekly Pilates class. Who's laughing now, oh silly sidekick?
Call me sidekick one more time and we'll see who's in pain. What seems to be the problem, young citizen of this fair city?
Do you guys know what the word stalker means?
I like this kid. She's got moxie. Why so glum, precocious one?
I've been practicing basketball but it's no use. I'm too short to play.
Nonsense. All you have to do is try. A little practice will do you good. Sidekick or superhero buddy. Would you mind demonstrating?
Come on, champ. Let's pretend we're playing ball and I'm defending you. Try and take a shot. Get that out of here. What are you doing? In your face. Get that weak garbage out of here, because I own you.
Princess here from the Zenith Force. Being a good sport is an important part of being a superhero. Whether you're just learning the game or you're the star of the team. Teamwork and sportsmanship are the qualities of a true superhero. Mind if I play on your team? Gosh, no, Princess. Ready, gentlemen?
This has been another Zoom public service announcement. It's time for another Zoom public service announcement.
Oh, Sarsaparilla, how did you get stuck in that tree?
What seems to be the problem, young citizen?
Just once, I'd like to address the citizen first.
Well, you're the sidekick. I talk first.
Oh, you're so overcompensating for your poor performance at last week's superhero and training seminar.
Like I said, what seems to be the problem, young citizen?
My kitty's stuck up in that tree.
Well, good thing we're in the neighborhood.
Leave it up to your local superhero duo to solve this problem.
I think this is a tactical maneuver of 42A.
You don't mean?
Yes, I do. Let's get some boxes. Maneuver 42A, initiate.
Hey kids, Princess here from the Zenith Force. Do not try this little stunt at home. If you need help getting your wind-up airplane off the garage roof, or your cat is stuck in a tree, don't put yourself in danger by trying to get it down yourself. Ask your parents for help. Superheroes don't put themselves in unnecessary danger. Remember, you don't have to have super strength to act like a superhero.
This has been another Zoom public service announcement.